Good evening. Hey! A lot better than last time. Put it that way. But welcome. I'd like to say, first of all, quick apologies. The stream might crash again. It's looking quite dire. If it does crash, I have to turn the quality down. And I have to apologise. I've tried to fix it. I can't. It's still average stream health. I need to look into it more in depth after this. But welcome everyone. Welcome. The first time we've been talking in a live stream that I'll hopefully be doing a lot since FPL has actually launched. I'll hopefully be answering all your questions. Get them in about everything FPL. You want to ask me about any players, any prices, any teams, tweet me your teams. My Twitter is on, well, right at the bottom there you can see, www.twitter.com/KurtYoy or @KurtYoy if it makes it a bit easier. You also got my league code on there, so it should be easy to see. And I tried to put your comments in the corner, but I don't think it's big enough. So, sex jokes. But yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome. Let's get straight on with the questions. Hopefully, I can sort them out. I don't even think I need this in here. But first of all, Seb Hodson, aka Colazo Fajardo, sorry for pronunciation, says, which two premium forwards are the best? Well, I think one of them has to be Kane. Let's be perfectly honest. Kane is he's been phenomenal so far. If we're going by premium strikers, I'm judging all the players above 10 million. So we're going Kane, Aguero, Lukaku, Lacazette, Jesus, and Costa, because they're all really the premium players. I think Kane's got to be up there. 12.5 million is very, very steep. He's currently in my draft. I've switched a few players here and there, but he's currently, I say in my draft, in my actual team. But Kane has to be up there. People say he doesn't score in August, but new stadium, new Kane, and he has to score in August at some point. So why not take the risk? The other one, I'm leaning towards Aguero. I really am. I think Costa, he's probably going, so that's 10 million down the drain. Morata could be a good price on him if he gets put below 10. He should do, because he hasn't played much, but of course, with him being most probably Chelsea's main striker, massive price will be slapped on him. Jesus has a potential to be pushed out wide. Aguero, I think, is a better striker. Lacazette, I think, is overpriced. He scored a lot of penalties last season. As for Lukaku, still feeling it out. I'm waiting to see him in pre-season, but his away form is poor, and I think he's a player that can change Man United. But I think as far as finished products, I think if you're going to go for two, my two would be Kane and Aguero. We've also got options on opinions on Lukaku and Lacazette deals. Well, I've pretty much explained it. My personal opinion, Lacazette is overpriced. I think he shouldn't have been anywhere, or should have been 9.5 or below, because yes, he's scored a lot of goals, but you've got to take into fact penalties. He's in the French league as well, and we've seen what happened to Falcao with a phenomenal record elsewhere when he came into the Premier League, and he come back and he's doing it again in the French league for Monaco. So that's one to be wary of. For Lukaku, he could well turn out good. £11.5 million. Still got the potential to turn out really, really good. The only problem is, again, is his away form. How will he fit into the Mourinho style of play? It's a lot more difficult than people think. Actual transfers. Well, in that case, Lacazette is good business. I feel like it's something Arsenal don't have. I think Giroud, I think he's got to be kept just for the fact he's a difference. Perez wasn't really given a chance, but I don't think he's up to the standard. I think I mentioned that when he first joined. Welbeck, he's in and out of the injury room, so Lacazette gives you a different option. If they do manage to keep Sanchez and Ozil either side in that three at the back formation this season, Lacazette could be a real key player. Lukaku, I feel like it's a expensive signing, but a great signing. I feel like he's a beast. If he can sort his away form out, maybe sort his ball control, could be a really, really good transfer. But there is also the fact that there's the negative football at Man United. Will that hinder him? Will that affect him? It's yet to be seen. Who's the biggest fraud manager in the league? I'd probably have to stick with one of us said right in the beginning. That's Guardiola, I suppose. Although I do think City have a better season than last season, I feel like people are forgetting the fact that City just missed, or just managed to get into the top four. That's one that can't be underestimated, and I think you've got to be realistic and look at the fact of they've spent so much money. He's brought in his own players. He's brought in, big players. 50 million on Stones. You're thinking, some players came in and did well. Sane was a good transfer. Jesus, for what he played with his injuries, was a good transfer. But, a win turned into a loss anywhere in that season. And Man City, I feel like, could have dropped out of the top four. And then what would that season have been? No trophies and out of the top four. Would Guardiola have kept his job? Would Guardiola still be in this situation, spend another, big amounts of money? That's the sort of questions that need to be asked. I feel like it's Guardiola, personally, if I was to go with one. But yeah, that's definitely an interesting question. Let me know your thoughts, everyone that's in the stream. Who do you think is the biggest fraud manager in the league? But mine is definitely Guardiola. Are going to be any head-to-head leagues? Yes, I'm still sorting out content. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm ahead on content so I can do the extra videos like shouting out other channels. I want to do that because JNO, Ninfria, Zane Muller, Bretsby, FPL updates, a lot of channels I feel like I want to shout out again. So I'll be doing that. Head-to-head leagues though, yes, there will be at some point, but I'm just sorting them out. If it wouldn't give me a choice to renew them, it would have been now, but they'll be sorting them out, and I might do one that's first come, first serve, and I might do one again where it's invitational, because that way, you're going to get the people that play a lot. We've also got who's the best bargain striker in FPL. I quite like Austin at 6.5. I feel like he could have a good season if he stays injury free. Let's have a look. Sort them by team selected. Another one I feel like is good and could be decent. It's a very, very big risk. Is Naki Wells of Huddersfield. He's valued at 5 million, and that's a very, very low price for a striker. He was their first choice striker coming up. Wagner could stick him up front and keep him up front for the start of the season, but they've signed two strikers. They've both come in and been valued higher than Naki Wells, so that could be a bit of a big risk. 6 million for Sam Vokes and Ashley Barnes as well. Gray is a sort of a will he won't he leave, and I think Vokes and Barnes did really well up front to each other, but Vokes, I think at £6 million looks a really, really good transfer, so that's one I'd definitely be considering. Have you changed your team at all since last season, or since last stream? Yes, my last stream I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but since then things have changed because you can only go on like predicted prices. You can. I have changed my team a lot. Let's put it this way: Ruben Loftus-Cheek transfer means that he's most probably going to be in my team. Although my transfers, I just realised, haven't changed. I put Trippier in there as well, who's also another one I've put in because of Walker leaving rather soon, which makes £5.5 million and away into the Spurs defence. Trippier is a must-have. But yeah, there's been a few changes. Redmond was in. He's now going to be going out again. There's a few that are sort of teetering. But this is the fun part where you just every day you go on, you'll think, I don't like you, I'll change you. By the end of it, you have half the team you started with back in again, which is the best part. Bernardo Silva, worth the risk on FPL. It's an interesting one because City have so many attackers. I want to have City coverage, but I don't know who's going to play. You can probably realistically say you got Sane, you've got Bernardo Silva, then you've also got De Bruyne, David Silva, Jesus, and Aguero, and that's not healthy. If you're going to play 4-4-2, that's not healthy for midfielders and two strikers. You've got to fit maybe Fernandinho, Yaya Toure in there. And even then, who do you take out of that? There's so many options now. It makes a question: who is going to, let their place go? At the moment, I can't say. Bernardo still. I stayed away. There's a big thing made about Nolito at the start of last season, and all the transfers. I stayed away from it then, just for the simple reason I didn't want to get caught up in the potential of him not getting his spot. Of course, Leto didn't get his spot in the end. Dropped me Lucasade bottle, and didn't go too well. For now, I'd say leave it, or look at the pre-season friendlies. Keep a close eye if you're really wanting to get Bernardo Silva. Keep a close eye on the pre-season friendlies. Look at who City play, what formation they play, because that could give you a thing of where he might fit in, who would be up against in the squad, and if he is playing every pre-season game, it would show you that he's probably a first choice for Man City and Pep Guardiola. When picking your fantasy team, do you believe in having a strong defence or a stronger attack? I think Loud11 responded to that with a strong attack. This year is very interesting because there's a lot of good defenders at good prices. I think you got Trippier at 5.5, you got Lindelof at 5.5. I think Daniels at 5.0 is a really good signing. Another one, I can't remember his name for some reason. David Luiz, that's the one. 6 million gives you a way into the Chelsea defence. You've also got small little small little fullbacks. You've got like Loughton, a Burnley coverage. You've got Swansea coverage in North. I feel could be really, really good. For the moment, I'm going with a stronger defence rather than attack. I've got the defenders that can attack out. I've got the clean sheet potential. With the attackers, they cost so much that it means that I'm going to have weaker midfield and defence. Midfield in general is well overpriced this season. There are not many good deals to be had. You're looking at Loftus-Cheek and Carroll at 4.5. Not many midfielders. I think many people are saying they're going to go like 4 and try and go as least amount of midfield as possible. I've seen some people go 5-2-3 at the moment with 3 midfielders on the bench. Risky to say the least, but could work. But yeah, I believe stronger defence this season. Because a lot of attackers are overpriced, and if you go, they're priced high, if you do go for 3 big attackers, that's a quarter of your budget gone, like completely out the window. Who should Spurs sign? I don't know names. Another striker, preferably. If they're going to send a message in, if Morata is going to Chelsea, Aubameyang. For a little bit of rivalry. And that could really send a message in, and that gives you something different. Janssen, he could probably get better. You've also got the fact of, Kane is in phenomenal form as ever. He's a phenomenal striker. Aubameyang gives you that sort of differential and that difference, whereas they don't have pace going forward. I'd probably say another centre back. I think they've got 3 at the moment in Wimmer, Vertonghen, and Alderweireld. I'd like to see them sign another fullback, another centre back. Maybe I feel like fullbacks are all right. They've got young players. I've got young players everywhere. Probably get rid of Sissoko. Another central midfielder maybe. Winks is there. Onama's there. But at the moment you've got Dembele, Wanyama, and Dyer. Dyer can fit in centre back if need be. That leaves you with 2 central midfielders. But yeah, maybe a striker, central midfielder, and a centre back. And I think that's probably a decent start for Spurs. Transformation Pep does it probably will be a 4-1-4-1 for Pep Guardiola. He'll give you maybe your Aguero or your Jesus up front, your Fernandinho or your Yaya in between the defensive midfield, and then you've got like a random 4. It's just like picking them out of a hat. Sane, Bernardo Silva, David Silva, and De Bruyne, which is terrifying. Terrifying. You get a counter attack against Man City. They're going to rip people apart. Do you think Luke Shaw could be worth a risk? No. Mourinho doesn't like him. I'm surprised he hasn't left yet. Mourinho does not like him. He's not liked Man United. So I'd say it's not worth the risk at the moment. Again, pre-season is another big thing. You could be looking at pre-season. Keep a close eye on those players like Bernardo Silva and Luke Shaw as well. But for now, no, I'm going to say Luke Shaw isn't worth the risk because we've seen it last season. It could be another season like that for Luke Shaw if he doesn't find a way out of Old Trafford. Should I bring in Hemed or Baldock as a cheap £5 million forward option? I'd say you could do. If I have a look, what's the cheapest forward? We've got 4.5 forwards, 4 of them. To be honest, I think looking at they're both Brighton forwards, aren't they? yeah, looking at Brighton's forwards, I've not changed the price. Murray 6 million is well overpriced. I doubt Hemed and Baldock are going to get in ahead of him. If Murray gets injured, one of them could be a really good option, but I doubt they're going to play. So if that's an option for you, and you're trying to put that £5 million option in to try and make money, to get another midfielder, or another premium defender, maybe that Marcus Alonso is going to be eyeing up for £7 million, which is massive for a fullback, especially if Alexandro signs. He'll become absolutely irrelevant. But looking at the Championship, they're not going to play. Glenn Murray was playing all last season, and I doubt Hemed or Baldock will get ahead of him this season. He's the only one that's got experience. Looking at his previous experience, though, 14-15 season, he scored 7 goals with 5 assists. Had a good season then, but 15-16 wasn't too good. Only 3 goals in almost the same amount of minutes, which just about says it all. Half the points as well. So yeah, I'd say it's probably not worth the risk. Pep could play 4-4-2. He could. I doubt it. Just for a simple reason. Where do you fit players? Because I feel like you can't have maybe Fernandinho next to them, but then even then you're missing out Silva or De Bruyne, and for me that's massive. You can't. Those two are essential. They're so good. So I'd say probably 4-1-4-1. Jesus maybe out one. It's so. Who would you drop? Who would you drop? What formation would you play? What players would you play if you're Pep Guardiola at Man City? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. And I've just about caught up, which is great. 20 minutes in, something that I thought it'd take me a lot quicker. It's actually took me 20 minutes, which is quite good. So get your questions in. Send it out if you want other people. Get them in. Send them in to the live stream. But I do have another screen. If I quickly go and try and do it, this might crash the stream, so I do apologise. We have nope, wrong one. Yep, there. Does that look good? I could need to see. I need to wait for the live dashboard to catch up before I even do anything. There we go, it does look good. But Walker having a medical tomorrow could be class for Trippier if they don't sign Ricardo Pereira. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say Walker 50 million is a massive price, but it will help Man City. He'll fit into Man City well. And he could be a really good signing. Just catch up on my Twitter. Here is my team. Here is another part I wanted to do. There's other things I want to do during the stream to sort of spread things out. But this is my current team. In fact, I'll make the changes quickly. I'll try and find the players I was going to do. I know one of them was Loughton out for Trippier, who's going to spike up in ownership. That's another thing. Prices do not rise before the season starts. So before game week 1, prices do not rise. We will get Trippier in. The other one I did was Cresswell. I don't even know why I put Cresswell in there. I've got a video coming out where I don't even mention Cresswell as a good budget defender, and I have Daniels as. So Daniels is coming into my team. The other changes I can't remember I was going to make. I think it might have been Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, it was Loftus-Cheek coming in. So where is the Crystal Palace man? Don't forget you can leave your questions whilst I'm doing this. I won't be able to see them, but once I've shown you my team, my reasoning around it, I'll get back to your questions. We'll get back to answering them. Yeah, Loftus-Cheek came in. I can't remember what the last signing was. Have $1 million left to spare. Can't remember. Looking at it. Might have been another... Oh, that's what it was. It was to bring in Shkodran Mustafi. And that is what I was going to go with. And this is probably close to what the team I'd start at the start of the season. With... not sure I'd bring out for Trippier. He'd definitely be there. With Carroll probably coming in last. But yeah, this sort of thing. I think I found a decent few players. Loftus-Cheek hasn't really been confirmed to start. I'm going from the back. The keeper duo I've gone with is Foster and Myhill. Foster's really liked at the start of this. I am tempted to go with Begovic and someone else, get an extra 0.5 million from somewhere. But I really do like Begovic this season. I think he's going to be, mark my words, he will be in the top 5 goalkeepers for points scored at the end of the season, barring him not getting injured. If he gets injured, then obviously he's not going to. Plays for a majority of the season, at least 35, 36 games, he'll be up there. But Foster and Myhill duo, so if Foster gets injured, Myhill comes in for him. 3 big defenders in Mustafi, David Luiz and Lindelof. All centre-backs, which is risky. Won't get those attacking points, but I feel like you get those clean sheet points. Last season, Mustafi, 8 clean sheets. Not the best from Arsenal, to be honest, but also 2 goals and 2 assists. He got forward a lot, which is good for those points. Almost got 100 points. And played just over 2,000 minutes. I think it's 3,420 minutes if you play every minute of every game. So there is that. David Luiz, last season, only got that 1 goal and 1 assist. That 1 goal from the free kick, obviously. 15 clean sheets, that is massive. 132 points. He's the cheapest way into Chelsea defence at the moment. Moses is 6.5. Cahill, Azpilicueta is 6.5. Courtois is 5.5, but he's a goalkeeper. And the other one you've got is Alonso at 7, which I don't fancy myself buying. Next one is Victor Lindelof. I believe he will play. This is the only doubt I have, and he might not see the starting lineup, but he's 5.5. And if he does play, which a lot of people are banking on, 17.6% at the moment, he's a banker. He's a must-have. And I feel like he's someone that is definitely going to be going in my team sooner rather than later. He's already in my team now. The other 2 defenders, Kieran Trippier. If Kyle Walker does leave and they don't sign a replacement, Trippier is going to be first team football. And you can look at that. 5 assists in 568 minutes last season, 51 points. You know, if you'd have made 2,000 minutes, that's 200 points. Only 3 clean sheets as well in that. Only 3 goals conceded, to be fair. But look, he's an amazing player that this season could really reap the rewards if you own Kieran Trippier. If Kyle Walker does leave, really worth owning him. And also Charlie Daniels. Last season, 10 clean sheets, but also 53 goals conceded. I think Bournemouth had one of the worst defences in the league. Charlie Daniels, however, 4 goals, 3 assists. First season, 3 goals, 5 assists. He has a record of bringing in some good attacking points. 130, 134, he's consistent. Plus the fact, shocking defending-wise in both times in the season. This time, though, strong defence behind him. Nathan Ake's been signed. Defoe's a fear factor to leave those players, staying further deep. And you've also got Begovic, who, no disrespect to Boroch, Begovic is the sort of keeper that can get those saves that stop you from losing those games, keep you those clean sheets, bolster Charlie Daniels' points up to a little bit higher. I'm hoping 140 to 150, maybe you're beyond there, but yeah, Charlie Daniels looks really, really good. Those are my 5 defenders. On to midfielders. Elias Kachunga, owned by very little people, 0.6%, but I really like him for the simple reason I think he's got a really, really good chance of doing well this season. He's very versatile, can play anywhere in the attack, whether it's through the middle, as a striker, right wing, left wing. He works well with the right back. Again, I can't remember his name. I don't know why I can't remember his name. I think it's Tommy Smith, but I'm not certain. And I thought it was really good. And also, look at his first few fixtures. The first time he plays a Big Six club is Spurs. Those 2s are fantastic looking. They're brilliant looking. And I feel like that really could get Huddersfield off to a good start. Also, their attackers, maybe Tom Ince as well, but I feel like he's a bit too overpriced. Van der Para, if he keeps his spot. You've also got a striker, but again, we don't know which one's going to be playing. Kachunga's a good choice. Dele Alli, the first of my premium players, £9.5 million. I'm counting him just as a premium player because he is high priced, but last season was phenomenal. Almost 20 goals scored from midfield. Quite a good record for a midfielder. 17 clean sheets as well, which is really, really good for Spurs. Only 22 goals conceded, 17 bonus points. Need I say more? I'm surprised he's only 9.5. If you look at his price, he ended at 9.1. Ended the last season at 5.9. Just about says it all, really. 9.5 is really cheap. I thought it'd be in double figures, so 10 and above. 9.5, I think, is one of the bargains in midfield. You also got Loftus-Cheek. He's £4.5 million, as you can see by his little picture there. Recently joined from Chelsea. So that's good for our point of view. Because if he does start playing, £4.5 million, even if he is defence midfielder, he's playing. And 4.5 is a new Darren Fletcher, effectively. The other one of my premium midfielders is Alexis Sanchez. Many people saying he's overpriced, but if he gives me 24 goals, 11 assists this season, I'm not going to complain. He ended up at 11.7. Starts at 12.0. There's not too much of a difference. It's not as if he's ended up at like 10.2 and got up to 12. That'd be a bit of a price, but he's ended up quite high, so you expect it to be quite high. And I think Sanchez, you've got to look at his fixtures. Toughish games against Liverpool and Chelsea, but his first day looked really, really good. Gets a bit harder there, maybe transfer him out for those games, but really good looking first few fixtures for Alexis Sanchez. My last midfielder on bench is Tom Carroll. £4.5 million gets you Tom Carroll. And he played half of the season. I think he played 17 games last season. 1 goal, 2 assists, 5 clean sheets. Swansea were performing better. Yes, Sigurdsson is leaving, but you've got to consider that gives players like Carroll a chance to maybe take that spot. Don't need to buy anywhere else. Put Carroll in that spot. He's got a wonderful left foot. I think he got a brilliant assist against Liverpool. I feel like he could really be a gem and a bargain this season. Then the 3 attackers, starting off with the highest price. I go highest to lowest. Or let's go lowest to highest. Charlie Austin, when he was playing, he was good. And he got a lot of points. But he wasn't playing for a lot. Injuries cost him his season. And I feel like if he does get a full season, you could see him potentially 15, 20 goals a season, which is good for us. Manuel Pellegrini, I expect to get him the best out of him as well. Firmino is the next one. He's 8.5. He's at that weird price. I'm quite impressed with the price of Firmino. Yes, he's not midfielder anymore, but he ended up 8.5. So he's barely even changed. 11 goals, 11 assists. I mean, I'll take that again. Even as a striker, yes, you lose 1 point for every goal, but Liverpool have potential to be a lot better this season, score a lot more goals, and I think Firmino could be at the heart of that. And finally, Harry Kane, as my captain, need I say any more? 29 goals last season, considering, like I say, he was almost 1,000 minutes off playing the max total. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. That is basically my team. There are going to be a few changes maybe here or there, but we will go back to the dashboards quickly. I need to try and get my webcam back. There we go. I don't know why it doesn't do it straight away. Right. We are back. It's empty. I've just realised. That's embarrassing. And we have a few questions. Ince or Richie from Michael Armstrong. First comment from you, so very welcome. Very welcome. Ince or Richie. I quite fancy Richie. I think Ince is unproven at this level. Richie in his first season, FPL wise, 4 goals and 12 assists. I think I've got a video on it coming up. That is almost a quarter, or I think it's over a fifth of Bournemouth's goals. He contributed to over a fifth of Bournemouth's goals in that season. I feel like Newcastle has the potential to be more of a star player there, if not the star player going forward. And I think he really could be a good signing. As for Ince, he could do well in a Huddersfield team that likes to attack in the, as championship wise, they're deemed a dangerous team, but you got to look at the fact 3 draws and 0-0s, and also the fact I'm not even sure he might even start. Looking at Van La Parra, Kachunga, maybe he'll be in the middle, maybe Van La Parra will go into the middle, he'll move out wide, Kachunga might go into the middle, or Kachunga might even go up front. It's just a big sort of what do we do, what's going to happen, but Richie for me, most definitely. Are you organising an FPL draft with subs when it's released? I'm tempted to do that. I think it's week commencing the 17th, but probably that means it'll probably be Wednesday the 19th as FPL goes. But I want to do an FPL draft with other content creators, and I want to do one with subscribers. So I might do a video, or just leave it in the comments from now on if you want to be part of that draft and you know you're going to be active throughout the season, because the last thing I want is to invite just anyone and then half the people are inactive, so it ruins the sort of game that you need people that are active. But if you're going to be active, let me know, not in the chat because that will go away, but in comment sections of videos, even in this video once it's gone live, or even on Twitter. Just say you want to be part of my draft. You've also got my Twitter on the screen there, so it should be easy enough to find. But yeah, I will be doing that at some point. Do you not think Lindelof is a risk? Jose can be slow to introduce new signings. Nice to have plenty of options at centre-back. That is true. You've got to look at Mkhitaryan last season. But I add the fact that I think Eric Bailly got straight into the team. and it's noted that he doesn't like Jones, he doesn't like Smalling, so Lindelof could also go straight into the team. That's what I'm banking on at the moment. He could be one to leave for a cheaper defender, giving money for further forward, but for now I think I'm going to be taking a big risk, and a big risk on Mr. Lindelof. What do you think of Gabbiadini? He went a bit quiet after his explosive start. Went a bit quiet, and that leaves me at the point where I'm not too sure on him. At the moment, he scored 4 goals in total last season. I feel like all 4 of them came pretty close together, so he could do well. £7 million is steep, considering when he came in, he was 6.5. He scored, a few goals, did nothing else, and somehow went up. That's the part that worries about me. But yeah, I think it's could be good. At the moment, I'm buying towards Charlie Austin, Jones, and Smalling could be coming to West Brom. Those would be good signings for West Brom. Price-wise, not so much. For the defenders like Macaulay and Evans, not so much. But I feel like they could be good signings for West Brom in general. That leaves players like the fullbacks, also maybe the goalkeeper, doing less of a job, getting those clean sheets more often. What are your opinions on Mohamed Salah? Without knowing, I'm not sure. I'll get my transfers page back up. Salah's an interesting one for me, because he came to the league last season. First of all, I've got to find him, and I can't. There we go, £9 million, same price as Mane, but you got to count the fact that he's played in the Premier League before. He played 500 minutes. It says on FPL, 2 goals and 1 assist. Now, I showed what Trippier did in about 550 minutes last season. Salah didn't have the best of times at Chelsea, but that was at Chelsea. This is a new team. This is a team that likes free-flying attacking football. And if we look at the stats of like Coutinho for last season, 13 goals and 8 assists. Mane, you're looking at 13 goals and 7 assists. Again, Firmino, 11 goals, 11 assists. You're looking at maybe even the Lallana bringing him in, 8 goals, 7 assists. They like goals, they like assists. He could be a really good signing. So I'm yet to take him out of this equation yet, but he could be good. Do you think Trippier... Oh, hello, James Hyde, by the way. Do you think Trippier is now an option, and now must have 5.5 million with Walcott on the verge of leaving Spurs? Yeah. I said it earlier on the stream, I think right at the start. But yeah, I think he's a must-have. Definitely a must-have. You're looking at Spurs defenders. If I go and get him up right now, you're looking at 5.5 for Lloris. At the moment, it was 6.5 for Walker, but it's 6 million for Vertonghen, 6 million for Alderweireld, 6.5 for Rose. For someone on the other side that in about 550 minutes last season got 5 assists, and he's going to get you into a really sturdy Spurs defence, he's well worth it. The risky part comes that they're playing at their stadium. Obviously, Wembley, their record is not the best, to say the least, but I think it could be a really good signing. For the clean sheets, for the attacking, it could be a really, really good signing. Yeah, that's all right. So I don't mind. I don't mind. People join late. It's not too bad. But let me know any questions you've got. We've caught up again. Another 20-minute period we have caught up in. I might probably be leaving at 45 minutes. I've got things to do afterwards. So I'll be on for about another 9 minutes. And then end off just a quick little stream. I'll be hopefully advertising a bit more. I was playing around a bit too much with the streams today. I've got all my stuff set up for it, so it should be easier to do. But yeah, I'll be advertising it a lot more. And make sure you get your bums here, because otherwise you're not going to get info. Not going to get a chance to ask me questions. All joking aside, do you think Son will be as good this year as last year, as he is not worth getting? He's at 8 million at the moment. It's a big ask. It's a big ask. I think last season, you look at the fact that he ended on 7.2, now he's 8. It's a difficult one. It is a very difficult one, because I think he did do all right for his price. Will he live up to that? Because there were times where he went quiet. Bearing in mind before that season he was going to be sold because of his poor first season, and there were, like I say, there were times last season he was a bit quiet. I'd say if you can spend that bit more, Eriksen 8 goals, 20 assists, Ali 18 goals, 11 assists. So think they're better options. He's a bit steep at the moment. Plus, also, a lot of the season, Lamela was out. He's rated at 6.5. That could be a little bit of a differential. That could be if Lamela gets himself in form, back to full fitness. His best season, 5 goals, 9 assists. Not too good, but if he gets himself fit and playing, it could be a good season for them. And again, cheap way to get into the Spurs attack. But that's a big if. Do you have any good ideas for Man City midfield players? No. I'm stumped. I've tried to give my opinion on it. I think I tried to give my opinion on it last stream and a little bit earlier on this stream. It's so hard to guess the Man City midfield. They've got, well, I'll put it this way. I'll have a look. I'll read you out the names they've got to contend with. They're playing 4-4-2. Jesus and Aguero up front. Inside the midfield, they've got to fit in 4 of these players: De Bruyne, Sterling, David Silva, Sane, Yaya Toure, Fernandinho, Gundogan, who I forgot was even there, and Bernardo Silva. Now, even with maybe one sitting, if Yaya Toure, Fernandinho, even Fernando, that price, you've still got 4 midfielders, and that could mean Jesus out wide. That could also mean Bernardo Silva. You're looking at Gundogan. You're looking at Sane, David Silva, Sterling, De Bruyne. That's 7 different players you've got to choose from for 4 midfield spots, basically. That's impossible. I mean, yeah, De Bruyne's going to be there, but it's 10 million. David Silva could be there, but he's 8 million. Sterling might not be there. Sane might not be there. You just don't know with Pep Guardiola. So it's hard for me to make a really accurate representation of who's going to be where. Hello, Court Live Podcast. Do you think Loftus-Cheek will get into the starting 11 at Palace? He should do. I think, put it like this, Loftus-Cheek was, sort of a substitute for a few times at Chelsea. I think if you get the likes of Cabaye, MacArthur, would they be an occasional performer at Chelsea? Could you see him getting onto the bench a lot of the time at Chelsea? No. But you've also got the fact of MacArthur's there, Cabaye's there, you've got I can never pronounce his name, Luka Milivojevic. Call him Luka from now on. He's also an option there in that sort of position, so it's an interesting one. I'm not 100% on it. I've got him in my team because he's 4.5, and if he does start playing first team football, he's going to be a really, really good player, so his price could really rise. If he starts strongly, I'm thinking he goes up almost $1 million like Capoue does, cash out on him, you got an extra 0.5 million from nothing. So that's very big ifs, but he could start playing. If he does start playing, it'd be a good price. I think he should, because if you look at Luka Milivojevic, there we go, I'll call him that, Cabaye and MacArthur, none of them would even get onto the bench. Granted, if Matic leaves, obviously they would, because Loftus-Cheek's at the club, but if Matic's there, none of them get on the bench. So that's hopefully Loftus-Cheek in a starting lineup. I agree about City midfielders being too risky to predict who will start. De Bruyne should be regular at 10 million. I'd rather buy Coutinho and save 1 million. That's the thing. Until, I'd say further down the line, when you know what the regular midfielders are, the regular performers, yeah. But even then, you're looking at people thinking you knew what the regular performers are for City. Even into game week 30 and beyond, he was still making changes. Occasionally, you think Sterling, put him in there. Sterling all of a sudden rips from the team. You're thinking, how on earth am I meant to get City points from here? The safest bet for me, I think, is probably Aguero. If we're going for City coverage, but no, I think Coutinho is a good choice. You're looking at maybe Tottenham coverage as well if you haven't got Ali Eriksson. Another good chance for you to get players in there. But yeah, it's far too risky for me, and it's not one I'm willing to really place a bet on. Another one I want other people's opinions on is sort of content. One thing I wanted to talk about was content, which is I've got a lot of content coming up. I've got potentially, and I'll say this with a sort of a potentially, but we've got almost maybe double uploads every day. Let me know what content you want to see on this channel. Obviously the live streams, there'll be an extra bonus every now and again. The evenings, I'll be occasionally doing a live stream. Maybe at the weekends, I'll be doing a big long live stream. There might be potential group live streams with people like QnA, like Nimfree, like Zane, and so on and so forth. People along that sort of lines. Maybe even maybe even live stream with subscribers. You also got the draft to do, but we've got loads of content coming up at this channel, and hopefully you all enjoy it. Did you see Lacazette scoring on his debut? I did. It was a nice finish. Granted, it was against better teams, and granted as well, it was from relatively close in, but he scored. He's in the right position, right time, good ball into him, he scored. That's the biggest part about it. I think that's really interesting. And it puts different spin on the fact that it's 10.5. I did see the goal, by the way, I'd just like to point out, because I did see it before I came out on live. But yeah, puts an interesting spin on things, but I'm still convinced he costs too much. Nick Scrutty, how do Liverpool fit in Coutinho, Lallana, Henderson, Sane, Mane, Sturridge and Firmino all in one side? They don't, I think. Someone's got to... I think the front three will be Mane one side, Salah the other, and Firmino. I don't think Sturridge is a starter. He wasn't this season. He won't be next season, so we'll take him out. Coutinho probably fit in a bit deeper. Lallana will fit in a bit deeper. Then you've got Henderson, I suppose, there. Then you've also got the fact of Emre Can, maybe. James Milner, if they're signing left back, Milner's going to be pushed out of position now. And if Milner's pushed out of position, he gets that midfield spot. He is a must-have. £6.5 million. He averages quite a few penalties in the season. But yeah, how do they fit him in? It's a very attacking side, very much like Man City. But I'd say it's looking like it's going to be Coutinho playing a sort of Lallana role. Lallana on the other side playing a bit deeper than he would do last season. If Coutinho allowed to attack, maybe join the attack, sitting back. Almost like you've got the three attackers. You've got pace one side, pace the other side. You've got the physical side and maybe the goal scoring side in Firmino. And then you've got the Coutinho. You stick him behind them three and they're going to make him run. So Coutinho is the sort of player that's going to be able to find them. Really, really interesting developments. But yeah, makes it really hard for FPL. Makes it really hard for FPL. But going back onto the point of content, in future videos I'll be asking you to let me know what videos you want to see, what stuff you want to see me do, who you want to see me collaborate with. There is potential for collaborations coming up this season. But yeah, I think that's just about that. We've hit 45 minutes. Another good stream. Graphics. What do you think about the graphics? What do you think about anything in the stream? Let me know anything in the comment section down below. I read this week that Lallana's place might be a risk in middle three if Coutinho, Henderson. I completely forgot about Wijnaldum. I knew it was someone. When I said Can, I knew it was someone I've forgetting. Yeah, again, lots of things. Maybe even you got the new Peptation at Liverpool, but who knows? But I think that's going to be that, everyone. My voice, I haven't drank. I do motor on live streams. My voice is starting to go. Thank you for another good live stream. A lot of comments, a lot of things we've got through. If you want any more questions answered, just comment it on one of my videos. I'll be able to get back to you in the comment section. Or even tweet me at QrTyoy, KURTYOY, and I'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And peace. Now I need to end the thing again. I keep on forgetting I can't just do it like a video and just cancel it and edit it out, because this isn't a video, this is a live stream. So yeah, thank you all for watching, everyone, and see you all later.